Good morning, Mom COEs. How are you doing today? The reason I'm coming on a little bit later than I normally do is because I have a sick kid at home. And I don't know about you, but when you have a sick kid and not only are you worried about them, not only are you trying to care for them, but you're also having to rearrange your entire day on what you're going to do, which I'm very, very happy to do because I love my kids and I want them to feel well. Good morning, Melanie. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Good morning, Amy. Hope you are doing well. And so my message today is because I had a sick kid a couple weeks ago who had to stay home, and I have a sick kid who's staying home for the second day today that we're thinking that she might actually have the flu because she has a temperature of 102. So it's either the flu or a very, very severe cold. Doctor hasn't quite figured that out, so we have to wait another 24 hours. And if the fever continues over 101, then we might be looking at getting some Tamiflu. But nobody else in our family has the flu. Everybody else is doing fine now. But the school that they attend has had quite a bit of illness. So I was going to talk about something else today, but I think that since my daughter is homesick and we as moms tend to do so much for other people that we forget sometimes that we have to take care of ourselves so that we are there and present and healthy to take care of others. I know I've mentioned this before. If we don't put the oxygen mask on ourselves, like in the airplane, then we won't be able to take care of other people that we love. So I, so far, have been surviving the illness bug in my house, as well as with patients that come into my office, as well as with going in and out of the school and being exposed to all the germs that are in a school. And I just want to remind everyone, make sure you are taking care of yourself. Last year was a very, very stressful year for our house. I won't relive that. Many of you have been kind of following along and all the drama that we had in our house last year, one event after the other. But one thing I have really made a conscious effort, am I saying that right? This year, as of 2020, is to make sure that I am setting myself up to handle any stressor that might come my way. We had so many stressors last year with health issues, with job issues, with a death in the family, with the move into a new house, things like that, my health suffered a little bit. Nothing big, but I just felt run down a lot, and I wasn't sleeping well, and I always kind of exercise, but not to the extent that I really want to. So this year I've made a very, very big commitment that I'm setting boundaries. And boundaries are so important in helping our health. For example, I'm not staying up and watching movies till 11:30 or midnight. I just don't do that anymore. On the weekend, I'm still going to bed 10:30 or 11 o'clock. I am making sure that during the week that I am cutting the electronics off at 10 p.m. Now, for you who maybe that's an easy thing because you watch TV a lot, I actually don't watch TV a lot. So I'm not up on electronics in that way, but I'm constantly working. So if I see my patients during the day, I still have other things to do because I have two businesses to run. So I have my in-office business, and I'm seeing people during the day, and I love seeing people with that because I get to help people feel better. And how cool is that? But I also have my online business, and I want to make sure that I'm serving people really well with that. So I have to work that in between my patients in my office. And I love doing it. I have a servant's heart. That's what God has blessed me with and gifted me with. And I want to help people feel better. But at the same time, I have to make sure that I feel good and that I don't expend all my energy serving others so that I get run down. Because if I'm run down, I'm not a very good servant then, am I? So I've been making sure that I cut off the electronics at 10 p.m. And that's a big deal for me because I could work because I love what I do. I could literally work until midnight and get up at 4 and start working again. It's just always a lot to do. But what's really cool is I have noticed that I have a lot more mental clarity and a lot more focus because I'm actually getting a good amount of sleep. And for me, that's about 5.5 to 6 hours. That is not what's recommended. It is recommended people get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I find on the nights I get 7 hours of sleep, like I am lethargic during the day. I am sluggish. But when I get 6 or like 5 hours and 45 minutes, I feel really good. And last year, I will tell you that a lot of my average sleep was about 4 hours and 27 minutes. And now my average sleep is hanging around 5 hours and 50 minutes. That is a dramatic difference. That's a huge difference. Like, I feel that. I have more energy. I have more clarity. I can focus more. I'm actually more productive. And I'm not sacrificing my sleep to do more. And in fact, it wasn't working. So what happens is if we're not getting enough sleep, if we're not setting boundaries on and controlling our time as best as we can, because there's always things that throw a wrench into our schedule. But if we're not setting boundaries and saying no to some things, then we're going to get run down. And when we're run down, we're going to be more susceptible to either injury or to not functioning at our best or getting sick. So I really believe that between a combination of some of the things that I've made a commitment to change this year, that I'm weathering the storm despite the illness around me. So here's a few things that I've noticed for me. And we all have our own things that we gotta have to work through and learn about ourselves and what works best for us. But for me, the 5.5 to 6 hours of sleep is really working well for me compared to the 4.5 hours of sleep I was getting. Some of you may need more. I have a friend, she has to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And if she doesn't, she's super irritable and she doesn't function well. So some people need more sleep. The other thing I've been doing is making a commitment to exercise. Now, I'm a gym rat, so I could exercise 4 hours a day. I don't have time to do that anymore. But I do make sure that even if I can't walk or even if I can't lift weights, that I am doing something for short periods of time throughout the day. So that might be just some posture stretches. It might be setting my clock on my phone for every 55 minutes so that I get up from my laptop when I'm working from home. Or when I have patients, they come every hour, so I kind of get a break, and plus I'm moving around. So it's not as big of a deal because I'm not sitting in one spot at a computer all the time. But I'm making sure I get those posture breaks. The other thing is, like, I'm getting up at the same time every day, with the exception of Sundays. I sleep in 1 hour, so I get up at 5 in the morning. On Sundays, I get up at 6. And even on those days, I am doing like a warm-up of exercises, so just movement exercises. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm not skipping a meal or skipping a snack. I'm a grazer anyway, but I notice that if I only get 3 meals a day, I'm super hungry, and then I want a snack at night at like 9:30 or 10. And then I wake up and I don't feel so good because my stomach's irritated from eating and then going to bed right away. So making sure that I get my 3 meals and then having 2 small snacks and not eating after 8 o'clock p.m. has really helped my digestive system. And I think that I'm getting a better sleep because I'm watching that as well. Speaking of food, I noticed that I've been eating more in moderation. Like, I haven't been eating really a low-fat, no-fat diet. And sometimes I kind of gear to that because I've done that before, but I don't always feel as satiated or as full, and I don't always feel as great. So I've really tried to have a more balanced diet. We'll try and have beef or chicken once or twice a week, and then we try to have fish once a week, and then the other meals we are doing more of a vegetarian, and to make sure that we get our fruits and vegetables in. And I've noticed a big difference with that too, because I feel like I'm getting more nutrients. And even though I supplement with some vitamins in the morning, I just feel like I feel better having more fruits and vegetables in my diet than what I had before. And I was probably doing about 5 fruits and vegetables a day, and now I'm probably getting closer to 7 to 9 just by having some legume or more of a vegetarian type diet. And when I say that, like, we've done some lentil tacos, we've done some beans and rice, and then of course we had steak the other night, so we had steak and potato, like air fried potatoes. So we're just really looking at balance and trying to try new recipes so that we're not getting into a rut with food. So these are some things that I have made a commitment to change in 2020, and they're small, subtle lifestyle behaviors that are making a huge impact. Because what's the date today? I gotta look at my watch. It says 22nd today. And so 22 days in of making sure that I'm moving at least 20 minutes every day for exercise, making sure that I'm getting more fruits and vegetables, making sure I'm drinking enough water, making sure that I'm watching my boundaries and getting sleep, making sure that I am not overcommitting my schedule so that I'm running all over the place. That has been a huge impact as well. So working with my family and saying, okay, on these days, this is what I have to do. And then delegating that over to my husband. And then likewise, he's done that to me too. Like on these days of the week, like he has to be super focused with his jobs. So, and I said jobs because he does have 2 jobs. So we are trying to balance that. And then in the whole scheme of things, also reducing our stress on the financial level. So that's why my husband has 2 jobs. He works 3rd shift, and then he sandwiches some clients and right after his 3rd shift and right before his 3rd shift from a private practice standpoint. So he's a mental health counselor. And so he's doing that, and then I'm doing things with my business on both the in-office and the online thing. And so we are really coordinating our schedules well and communicating well. So that is a huge part of it too. You know, before I would get really, really frustrated, but I wasn't speaking up and I wasn't saying, hey, I need help with this, or hey, I'm running all over the place this week. What can you do to help me out? Or if it's not him helping me out, like utilizing my friends and my church family to help pitch in when I need them. Good morning, Katie. Thanks for joining in. And so that's another great way to set boundaries and take care of yourself, is don't take on the load all by yourself. It's so important to utilize your resources. We can't be experts in everything. We can't know everything. So let somebody else help you. Lean on other people for support. And whether that's prayer support, whether that's helping carpool, whether that's teaming up and doing a date night switch so you and your husband can have a night with no kids, whether that's being creative and doing a date night at home, having the kids go downstairs with movie and dinner, and having mom and dad be upstairs having a dinner by themselves if you can't afford a babysitter. That's kind of where we are right now. We either do date night swaps, or we do dinner in the movie with the kids downstairs, and we do dinner upstairs. And we kind of gotten away from that a little bit, but it's something that we definitely want to get back into. Oops, sorry, my phone's moving around here. It's something that we want to get back into because it's so important to have that connectivity with your spouse. So I know I kind of have gone a little bit more than I usually go today, but I think it's really important that you kind of do an assessment of what is going on with your life right now. And this isn't a time to like beat yourself up about things. It's a time to say, you know, what is working? What's not working? And what do I have to do to make a change? And when we make changes, I encourage you, pick one thing. Pick one thing and focus on that for like a week or even a month. Do that for a week or a month. Get really, really good at that one thing. Then keep doing the one thing and add another one thing. And you might be thinking, I've got so many things that I've got to work on. I've got so many things that I want to fix. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with this. You know what? None of that matters. None of it matters. Pick one thing that you can stick with. Because when you pick one thing and you win at it, it's a confidence builder. If you're trying to pick 5 things and you can't succeed at any of them because your mind's just like all over the place, how does that help you? It doesn't. It does not help you. In fact, it often will make you feel like you're a failure and that you can't keep up and that you can't do anything right, when that is the farthest thing from the truth. The truth of the matter is, as a mom, chief of everything, you have a lot on your plate. You don't need to add more chaos to the chaos, right? What you need to add is pick one thing that you know you can do. And maybe all that is, you know what? I can replace a soda with a water today. Or I can drink water. I can get my 8 ounces of water. Or if you really want to know how much water you need to drink half your body weight in water to make sure you're fully hydrated. That's as a baseline. So for me, that is, 60 ounces. I need to drink 60 ounces of water every day. And if I'm not getting that, that's what I'm going to start with. Because then I'm going to be hydrated. I'm going to feel more energetic. I'm not going to feel lethargic. I'm not going to feel thirsty. I'm not going to feel hungry when really I'm thirsty. So drinking that 60 ounces for me is a big difference. You pick your thing, right? You pick the thing that you want to focus on. But I'm just saying it can be as simple as that. It could be as simple as, you know what, when my alarm goes off, I'm going to actually get up. I'm not going to hit the snooze, and I'm going to get up. So that later on in the evening, because I haven't kept hitting snooze, I'm so tired that I actually want to go to bed, and then the next morning I'm going to get up at the same time. Pick little things that you can focus on to get a big win in. And then you're going to get big win after big win after big win. And the next thing you're going to be like, I can do this. I'm a winner. I said I was going to do this. I committed to it. I did it. And I'm doing it. Then you add another thing. And then you add another thing. And then you add another thing. All you're doing is creating habits that help you win each and every day. Take care of yourself. It's not selfish. It's not being self-centered. It's recognizing that you are just as important to you as you are important to everybody around you. You are just as important to you as you are important to everybody around you. Each and every one of you who are on this call today and who will listen in a replay later, you are winners. You're mom, chief of everything. You got so much going on for you. What's going to be your big win today? What's going to be the thing that you say, you know what? I can do that. I'm going to focus on that one thing. And I'm going to do that for me so that I can be the best version of me and give that best version of me to those people I love. Go win today. Give a great day. I love each and every one of you ladies. Take care.